Hello everyone, my name is Kid Lee, and I'd like to talk with you a little bit about the lack of Star Wars The Old Republic at E3 2017. Now, since the launch of the game, SWTOR has been at least briefly mentioned at every E3 since the launch of the game, most of the time just like EA saying, oh, yeah, we got this MMO thing over here. You guys should maybe check it out. Or maybe they'll just simply put the logo on the screen or something like that. So this is the first year that they've said nothing. They've showed nothing. And I think it's actually a big missed opportunity for them. And I'll tell you why here in just a second. Going back over E3 the last couple of years, the last 2 years in particular, 2 years ago is when they had the big announcement for the expansion, Knights of the Fallen Empire, and they showed the big blur cinematic with the two brothers, destroying stuff and all this and that. Last year, it was mentioned twice, and they had sort of the EA future of games, and it was sort of talked about and shown as part of that. Now, this year, EA did something a little bit different with their conference. They had the main show, and then they actually had a post-show. And, I'm okay in this particular case with them not showing it during the main show, if that's what they chose to do. But during the post-show, they would have had ample opportunity to have a segment where they're talking to the developers of BioWare about the summer of SWTOR or their plans for the game this year. It doesn't even necessarily have to be Keith or Musco or any of those guys. It could have been, pretty much anybody that could just simply say, here's SWTOR, here's our MMO, and here's what's going on. They had a real chance to do something like that, and they failed to do it. And I think that really shows EA's dedication to this game, or the lack thereof. There's been rumors for some time that this game has really fallen by the wayside when it comes to EA's part of it or EA's side of it, and I think this is simply another really strong indication of exactly that. Now, just to give you an example, so EA did their full, normal press event, which was not very good. It wasn't. If you watched any of the coverage that I've done so far, it's right near the bottom. Between EA and Bethesda, which one was worse, it's kind of a dice roll on that. But it's definitely near the bottom compared to the other ones. But yeah, they did this whole post-show thing where they basically just showed off gameplay to different games and talked to developers. One thing in particular that they did that was really interesting is their mobile game, Galaxy of Heroes. Again, it was not really shown or mentioned at all during the main press event, but they had a spot for it in this post-show. And they talked a good, probably 10 minutes about, here's our mobile game. Here's all the things we're doing with it. You know what? Grand Admiral Thrawn is coming to it. Here he is. Here's what he can do. So it just kind of blows my mind a little bit. It's like, why would you take the time for this game and not take the time for your other Star Wars game? It's just, I don't get what EA's plan is for this. And I think what's perhaps even more baffling is here in the last couple of weeks, I've been hearing rumors about some really, really exciting things that are going to be potentially coming to Star Wars The Old Republic. So it's like, if they're actually going to be doing more cool stuff, again, why not mention it? Now, like last year, like I said, they didn't announce the expansion at E3. Instead, they held their own little separate event. So it appears they're going to do something similar to that this year. I mean, I'm pretty sure that they're going to have an expansion at the end of the year. The developers have already said in previous, interviews and streams that the whole chapters thing at the end of the year with the Netflix binging and all that, that seems to be their format moving forward, so we can expect that down the road. But it's just, I don't know. I just wanted to sort of talk about that for a couple of minutes here on how I can't believe that they didn't want to do a time slot for SWTOR during the post show. I don't get it. What is EA's game? it just baffles me. It really does. Why not show it? That's the real question. Why not show it? Instead, they do the mobile game, which is fine. You know, I think that mobile game is probably getting them a lot of money. Is it getting them more money than SWTOR? Maybe. Maybe it is, and maybe that's why they did it. That mobile game is a real cash cow. It really is. But, yeah, crazy times, crazy times. But I think that'll go ahead and do it for my little rant video, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. Thank you all so much for watching. And with that being said, everybody keep playing and have fun.